Quick question, do you remember your first romance anime? If you do, what do you think of it now? Do you still love it, or did it worsen when you watched it again? Romance anime is not my cup of tea. Most tropes and 90% of romance anime make me skip them entirely. Nowadays, romance anime has started to move away from just being generic. Call the Night, 100 Girlfriends, How to a Relationship, Komi Can't Communicate, Kobo Won't Let Me Be Invisible, and many others are romance anime that I will recommend until the day I stop watching anime, which I doubt will ever happen. Another anime I can highly recommend is Toradora. It isn't a recent anime, but that doesn't mean it can't hook you in. This anime was my first dive into romance anime, and it's most likely the reason why I can't enjoy other types of romance anime. The way this anime uses character development, family problems, rejection, and letting yourself be left behind to let someone you care about be happy has never been done as well by any other romance anime I've ever watched. Other romance anime I've seen don't give me the same feeling that Toradora does. Call the Night comes close, but that's a video for another day. Toradora is a 25 episode anime telling the story of Gothru and Morgana trying to get with each other's best friends, Miyori Kushieda and Yusaku Kitamura. Ryuji Takasu has his faithful encounter with Taiga Aisaka on the first day of school after starting and fumbling, trying to talk to Kushieda. Ryuji makes a quick excuse that he must go to the bathroom, then bumps into Taiga because she's too short to see with the human eye, and gets socked in the jaw with an uppercut. Taiga is probably the star of this anime. She gets the most character development and the hardest hitting moments. She also receives the cutest moments in the anime, and you can't tell me that she didn't get multiple bodies after school before meeting Ryuji. The number of times she hits him, I'm surprised he hasn't been rushed to the hospital, especially after that uppercut, getting stabbed in the eyes, getting kicked on multiple occasions, and more. Taiga is at her best moments when she starts to care for Ryuji and others. Taiga is going straight into the S tier. Ryuji soon gets called by the teacher because he's the last one to complete his career plan. After that, he returns to the classroom to get his bag, when Taiga's spiritual pressure suddenly causes everything in the room to fly. She's so strong that it happened while she balled herself up in a storage cabinet. Ryuji tries to ignore the chaos that just ensued, but when he tries to grab his bag, the cat decides to get her next body. After Taiga embarrasses herself, Ryuji is left to clean up the classroom, but since he is the god of cleaning, he finishes quickly and goes straight home. Ryuji finds a love letter in his bag, not addressed to him, but to Kitamura. Whoever wrote this knows need to find someone better. Kitamura is alright, but Ryuji and other background characters are much better. The dude doesn't even do much in this anime besides his little arc where he gets rejected by the student council president, but it leads to the best fight in this anime. Anyway, the envelope was empty either way, and Taiga broke in his house for round 2 because she didn't get to finish him off earlier.
The envelope was empty!
It was empty?
Exactly. So there was nothing for me to read. Hell, you're actually lucky you didn't give it to Kitamura. He doesn't know how bad you messed up.
Taiga passes out from hunger, and Ryuji gives her some rice, and that's when Ryuji makes his fateful deal. He'll help Taiga out with getting with Kitamura, and in return, she'll help him get with Kushieda. But I'm surprised he doesn't have Dipper's 30-step plan for talking to her, but has a box full of other things he planned out for the far future. This moment is where Ryuji's fate is sealed, as the rest of the anime see both stumble around trying to get along with their respective crushes. Later in the anime, they try to introduce another girl who would try to have a love triangle with Ryuji, which later leads into a swimming competition with Taiga, leading to the slow sinking of a ship. Ryuji and Taiga try and fail to get Kitamura's attention and get Taiga some alone time with him. After getting hit with a basketball, crushing some cookies, and fighting the whole class, Taiga finally has enough courage to ask Kitamura out.
Kitamura, I like you!
Hi, Sokka. You're really something.
I see. It's okay. You don't have to explain yourself anymore. I think I understand how you feel now. It's alright. I'm sure the two of us will become great friends from now on.
I said I liked you, not that I want to be friends?
At this moment, Kitamura has now been placed in the C tier. Ryuji, being the A tier character that he is, tells Taiga that he will always be by her side and help her with Kitamura. After a few episodes of the duo trying to get the ships rolling with some brilliant comedy,
The dumb chihuahua really was taking a shower. And she was all boom and boing and bam! He doesn't need to know that!
Her class has a Christmas Eve party where Kushieda finds out about Taiga's true feelings about Ryuji with one of the saddest moments in this anime. I usually never cry when watching anime or media, but this made me think about life choices. Kushieda gives Ryuji a vague rejection, but he doesn't give up as he plans to tell her his feelings on a last-minute ski trip. On that particular ski trip, Taiga gets into a little accident that leaves her unconscious, which leaves Ryuji to rescue her. To make Taiga happy, he tells her that Kitamura saved her and gets him to pretend he did. The plan falls flat on his face because Ryuji forgot to tell Kushieda about it.
Hey, Taiga! Come on, look at me! No! What do you see? I'm Minori! I'm your best friend, isn't that right? You always said you loved me, so trust me on this! Let me go! Let me go! Let me go! I trust you, Taiga. You keep going on and on and on about me, but I know you're not some weak little girl who'd give up and blame someone else for making you give up on the one thing you want! That's not it! All I wanted was for you to be happy!
This anime gets better with every rewatch, and the ending is even better, but I'm not spoiling it because it is at its best after watching every part of Toradora. Everything in the plot matters to the story, which makes the story so impactful. From the first day of school to the vacation episodes to when Ryuji and Taiga run away, all contribute to the story in the right ways. Ryuji and Taiga act like an old married couple from episode 1, but it takes a few episodes for Taiga to realize she likes Ryuji, and even longer for Ryuji to know it for himself. It's more like it drags out the romance, but the anime is more about the journey of the two realizing their true feelings for each other, so it makes sense for the romance to be dragged out. The anime wouldn't be as good if they got together in episode 3, and the rest was about relationship drama and or separating them for some stupid reason, like a giant misunderstanding. You guys do not know how much I hate misunderstandings that a simple conversation could fix, but now I must move on. Ryuji has a lot of growth in this anime, from being feared by everyone nearby and only having Kitamura believing that he's a nice person, to the whole class getting to know him and being kind to him. The same growth happens with Taiga, but with some details differing. Kitamura is an alright character. He starts out as a secondary main character, Ryuji's friend, and Taiga's love interest. Then he slowly starts being part of the main cast, introducing us to Ami, giving characters good advice, and trying his best. Even when he becomes the student council president, he keeps helping behind the scenes to get Ryuji and Taiga to tell each other their true feelings. I love Kushieda's character. She starts as this airhead anyone can fall for because she's overly cute and always smiles. But as she gets to know Ryuji more, she slowly shows her true self as a person who chooses her friends' feelings over her own. She's always liked Ryuji but pushes her feelings to make Taiga happy. She sings happy songs to hide her fear when she and Ryuji are trapped in a storage house. Ami hides her true self behind a mask that acts innocent and too lovely, but when she stops hiding behind it, she becomes a better character and vaguely gives Ryuji advice to figure out his feelings before someone gets hurt. The scene I mentioned earlier where Kushieda berates Taiga about being happy for herself and to stop putting aside her happiness for others was what happened because Ryuji kept trying to put Taiga with Kitamura and not figuring out his feelings. This moment also works for Kushieda because she's telling Taiga what she feels about herself. She doesn't want Taiga to think like her, to put others' happiness before her own, which is why I love this scene so much. I love how the animation shows emotion. This anime looks good in general, but when the emotional scenes come in, the animation gets better and better. There isn't that much action, but when it does happen, everything just flows nicely. The way that the anime shows Taiga and Ryuji's relationship is the best thing about this anime for me. Most people have a problem with it because they see the relationship as just Taiga always demanding things from Ryuji but offering little in return. Ryuji just accepts it and is the doormat to Taiga. Although I see where they're coming from, I disagree respectfully because even though Taiga is the biggest tsundere you will ever find in an anime, deep down, she's fragile and couldn't even take care of her apartment before Ryuji came along. Ryuji and Taiga understand each other, which makes their relationship work. When Ryuji hits the street lamp with Taiga and takes everything off their chest, they start to get closer together. When Taiga says they'll just be classmates from that moment forward, Ryuji realizes that something doesn't feel right without Taiga. So after she confesses, he states that he'll always be by her side. Their relationship is what brings Toradora together as a whole, and it's a relationship that is still in the minds of many fans, including myself. This is why I can wholeheartedly recommend Toradora to any anime watcher. If you don't like it, that's fine, but when you do like it, you will be looking at your screen disappointed that there isn't a second season in sight. Now let's return to that question I asked at the beginning of the video. What was your first romance anime? Do you still love it, or did something happen that made it change? Toradora always has my full attention when I rewatch it, and I recommend giving the dub a watch. The sub is pretty good, but the dub actors put tons of heart and soul into their performances. If you watch in a sub, I recommend a second watch in dub and vice versa. I give Toradora a 9 out of 10. The plot is straightforward and engaging. The problems the characters have feel natural, and you can always see why they would make an unavoidable decision from their point of view. Every main character has their moment to show their genuine emotions. Everything feels right, and the ending has a satisfying conclusion that makes you want more. Thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this. If you've gotten this far, I'd appreciate it if you would subscribe and click on the bell icon so you wouldn't miss any new content from me. If you have any points you agree or disagree with, then leave a comment below about what you liked about this video and what I can improve for the future. If you like what I had to say about Toradora, then I believe you should check out my review of Bocchi the Rock. I also think you could check out my other video where I describe 10 tiring anime tropes. Thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you in the next video.